8-year together, 6-year married. What to do? Hi everyone. Just recently joined this sub because unfortunately I got cheated on. Forgive me for any spelling errors, as Dutch is my first language so I'm not native in English. I'm a male 32, married to my wife 27 for almost 6 years now. We've been together for 8 years and 3 months, we are living together for 7 years now. It was always great, I really feel like we were the perfect couple. We both have a car, good jobs, stable finances, and we bought a house 5 years ago. February 2022 I unfortunately, very unexpectedly, lost my mother to a heart attack. What followed were very rough months, for me but also for my wife who was also very close to my mother. And by rough I mean really rough. In 6 months' time we only went out like 2 times, we always stayed in just relaxing on the couch and chilling watching TV. I wasn't due to circumstances happy, but I expected we would get through this. D-Day as I see everyone call it, was 5 weeks ago. My wife went out drinking with 3 male friends from work about 5 minutes away from our house. I was like okay cool, but I'm going to bed soon. Middle of night 00:30 she came home, with the 3 guys I know all of them and said she was going out in the city with them. I didn't like it, but couldn't stop her. Everything closes at 04:00 but even though it's a 15 minutes ride she came home at 05:30? That's when my suspicions began, even though before this night I never mistrusted her. Today 4 weeks ago she left the entire Sunday, said she was going to some carnival with her mom. I did not trust it, but what can you do? She even left without saying goodbye, while I was taking a shower. Later that day when she came home she entered our house crying. My first response was honey, come here, what happened, did something happen, what's got you so upset? Her literal first words at that moment were I want a divorce. After that we talked a bit about it, both very emotional. I straight up asked her if she cheated, but she said no. She told me she's been unhappier for a longer period of time and hence the divorce. She literally never told me something was wrong with our relationship, so this came as a complete shock to me. Anyway, after the talk she left and she lives at her mom's house now. 4 days later I saw her again because we had a dog for which I alone cannot take care of, and neither can she at her mom's house. So our dog stays at an aunt's house now. Anyway, because I saw her I confronted her about cheating again, and this time she admitted it. She told me she cheated on me for the entire week since she went drinking until the week later when she left home. She said she thinks she is in love with him. I asked what's so great about him and the only thing she says is yeah, we have a good connection spark. So that's it I suppose. She also said she feels like she is going through some sort of midlife crisis. Doesn't know what to do with her life, doesn't know what she wants. She's going crazy lol, she died, don't know if this is the correct word, sorry, her hair purple? And all out of nowhere she signed up for lessons to drive a motorcycle. The first week or maybe 2 weeks after I tried reconciling if that's the right word, but she wouldn't budge. Every serious message I send her gets straight up ignored. Casual messages I do get a reply on, but it's short responses with a certain, arrogance I guess? I seriously do not recognize my wife anymore. Her personality seems to have changed in literally 1 week time. She is treating me as if I never existed in her life and like I'm some piece of garbage. Is this some kind of defense mechanism to make it easier for her, pushing her problems towards the future? Or could it be she really changed and feels this way now? How on earth is this possible? I mean, I know falling in love is an awesome feeling, but what happens with her in a few months when the honeymoon phase with this guy is over and she really wakes up from it all? I've been experiencing a lot of mixed feelings. Really a lot. I resent her for the fact she cheated on me and I'm really disappointed. But I also realize and know that the fundamental basis of our marriage was always great. From D-Day to today we are 5 weeks further. She has still not officially filed for divorce, and neither have I. I'm not sure, but I'm fairly certain she is still seeing the guy she cheated on me with. To be honest, at this moment I'm torn between wanting to save our marriage and just ending. At this moment I honestly do not care if we get back together or if we divorce, so I honestly don't know what to do. If I file for divorce now I might regret this in the future for being too fast I suppose. But I also cannot keep living in this sort of limbo in which I am officially still married, but she already left. Redditor's reactions story 2 after. Redditor 1, you really should start the filing yesterday. Make sure you separate your finances and start talking with a lawyer. If you're wanting to save this, which I hope you don't, this will most likely be the wake-up call. Right now she thinks she can walk all over you while you just sit there waiting. Really shows her lack of respect. Also TBH, this making me wonder if there is an underlying mental issue and if she may be manic but still not excuse. Find your backbone op and stop letting let do this to you. Op answer, thanks for your reply. I actually do think there is some kind of mental issue, but I'm not sure what exactly. Her mom's been telling her she should get therapy already since last February when my mom and her mill died. That's also why I'm not sure about it all. If she is currently really that messed up in her head, I don't want to look back on this in 2 years and think to myself, I filed for divorce too fast. Thanks though, you're absolutely right. She is showing absolute zero respect for me. Redditor 2, the only thing you'll regret in the future is not filing those divorce papers fast enough. Your wife doesn't clearly care about you or your well-being if she is still in contact with the guy she cheated you with. She is not remorseful or sorry about what she did. Redditor 3, you can go out instead of waiting for a woman who isn't staying with you and has been sleeping with someone else for weeks. Marriage is over. Send the papers. Go on with your life. Op answer, thanks for the reply. Yeah, I am already going out. To be honest, I don't even miss her as much anymore. She simply isn't the person anymore that I knew up until 5 weeks ago. Story 2, how can I help my wife? She's a survivor of Esther abuse. My wife started cheating on me recently. It has been the most painful experience I have ever been through. Our marriage has been difficult. She's a wonderful woman, but she is cyclothymic and also was Esther abused by her father when she was younger. We had a lot of difficulties with Esther intimacy. She enjoyed it, but she would get triggered often and we would have to stop. I've been accused of having an affair many times throughout the years. I took measures to ease her mind, changed jobs, moved, let her track my phone, gave her my supervisor's number, and that helped some, but she was still very insecure. Eventually she accused me of molesting our daughter. Her father did also had an affair that went 9 years. At that point it was like she saw me as the perpetrator, having accused me of all the same things. It broke me, because we had overcome a lot and were really happy with each other at the time. I said we should take our daughter for a forensic interview to ease her mind, but she refused. After that things were never the same. I tried to reconnect with her, but she kept pushing me away. I was very hurt too and eventually stopped trying. We started sleeping in separate rooms, but still got along well in front of the kids. I didn't have the strength to keep getting rejected, so I withdraw and gave myself over to my hobbies to take my mind off, telling myself that at least I wasn't cheating on her. I tried to reconnect with her once in a while, but she was reluctant and I was quick to get discouraged and give up. Now I realize, I abandoned her when she needed me the most. This depressing cycle continued for 3 years. I never stopped loving her. At times she told me to leave, but I told her I loved her and I wasn't going anywhere. She finally came to me a month ago and said she wanted to separate, but keep living together for the kids' sake. She wanted to see other people. I told her this wasn't what I wanted, but she said I could be okay with it or get out. I told her I still wanted her and she laughed me off. A couple of weeks later she made it obvious. Her girlfriends brought her home and had to carry her to her room around 9 p.m. The kids saw the whole thing. Then at 2 a.m. she woke up, showered, dressed up and left and told me she'd be home in the morning. The kids woke up when the garage closed and I just told them she'd be back in the morning. She came in while we were eating breakfast and they asked her where she had been. She had a big smile on her face and said she was with a friend. It ripped me apart. I confronted her later and she said it was all my fault and that I was never there for her when she needed me. She said we can co-parent, but that we will never be a couple again. Part of me feels the sting if knowing I gave up trying to reach her, the other feels the sting of betrayal. I'm open to insight that anyone can provide. I still really love her. I know that if we divorce, she will continue to spiral out of control. I have finally gone to her family to ask for help and they've been supportive. I know that she is a victim and I don't want to leave her. I did it first, but I don't want to see her self-destruct. We still live in the same house peacefully. Either way, I feel like it's time to get my poop together. I want to find a better job and be there for her and my kids more. I also feel the need to confront her perpetrator, my father-in-law, but not violently. Nobody else in the family knows what he did, but they did see the changes in her behavior when it happened. It's been too long to prosecute him, but I met with a lawyer who said I have enough to bring an injunction against him to keep him from seeing his grandkids unsupervised. I want the truth to be told. I want her to be able to heal. I'm ready to give my life to her all over again. I probably sound pathetic. I'm sure some will say this is a lost cause. I refuse to believe she is beyond hope. There's a wonderful person inside, she just needs help. I'll take any insight that can be offered, please. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, don't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Redditor follow up, been there, done that, don't know how I'm still alive. It costs way more than you could ever get out of it. If she's not willing to do the hard work, it's a complete waste of time, trust me. This woman will weaponize your pity to destroy you. GTFO. Redditor 2, this woman has slowly taken everything from you, been extremely abusive and true to form for an abused spouse. You are blaming yourself for her abusing you. Redditor follow up, that's what I thought. She is a victim of abuse, but she freezes and gets triggered by time and they have to stop. Does not mind giving it away to strangers. Also she needs to want to get better and no evidence has been provided. You need to start thinking about your own mental health. I am not sure of what you are getting from this relationship. Redditor 3, you need rigorous therapy or clinical treatment. You are trying to live in a world in your own head. Don't lose touch with reality. Update, she gets mad at me when I'm nice to her. Think I'm getting to her? After my last post, I decided to take the high road. She cheated on me, but I'm not going to mistreat her because of it. I've been returning evil with kindness and it really seems to burn her up. I'm still taking measures, talking to a lawyer, going to therapy and preparing for battle. I'm still hurting, but I know I'll heal. I feel better when I'm kind to her, regardless of how it makes her feel. I know, in the end, I will feel better, regardless of the outcome. Update, seeking wisdom in the counsel of many again. She's softening up. First off, thank you to all of you who have been following and advising me. I don't have much of support network here and the thoughts, advice and encouragement have been invaluable. Second, I don't plan on deviating from my plan to file for divorce. Today was different. Friday nights have recently been AP nights and she's been in a heightened state of limerence. Tonight she came straight home. She was a little standoffish, but as I've been trying to be civil and considerate, I asked about her day and she actually started to open up. We'll see what tomorrow brings, but it was uncharacteristic for her recent behavior. I can't jump to conclusions yet. It has me on guard. Is it bad that I want her to have a meltdown when she gets served? For those of you that know my story, you know I don't want her to suffer out of resentment, but I do want her to get help. I'm also not gonna lie, it was nice to have a break from having the knife driven into my heart every time she leaves for the night. I'm not going to lie, the affair was a huge wake-up call for me. As soul-crushing as it has been, it's helped me to bring about a lot of positive changes to my life. The past 2 weeks have felt like 2 months. I have a therapy appointment on Monday, I started running and working out again, started eating healthier, lost 10 pounds mostly from kiss of appetite the first few days, but I'm eating now, and I have a job interview on Tuesday that I'm praying will go well. I know part of her frustration with me was my lack of ambition in spite of a really good track record with employment in the past. I always found this to be perplexing. I wanted to find a better job, but the stress of marriage coupled with my years as a stay-at-home dad wreaked havoc on my self-esteem. I've also been better with my kids and I want to give them more of myself, not the hollow shell they've been getting the past few years. I feel that my kids love me, but I also know that they haven't been getting my best. Whatever happens, some very positive changes have already come from this pain. I'm still anxious every day about what's going to happen, but I see a glimmer of hope. I wish she could have that. I think it's going to be a painful road for her. I'm doing my best to keep some distance for now. I feel like I'm walking a razor-thin line of being efforts to stand up for myself, but also not trying to destroy her out of resentment. I pray for her every day and won't stop. I've had some horrible experiences with the church, but some very profound experiences with God, if that makes any sense. I feel like He's been here with me or I wouldn't still be alive. I have to believe in redemption. She, as well as many of your loved ones, have made their choices, but I can't help thinking of the horrible cycle of abuse that people get caught in. It just doesn't feel right to see generation after generation suffer because of the things that were done to them. I know we have to protect ourselves, but we have to stand up for those who have been hurt. This has to end. Update, a glimpse into her twisted perception of reality. Moments like the one described below remind me of how detached from reality she is. This just happened. WW, our daughter had a nightmare that you guys all moved without me. Me, daughter, tell me about your dream. Daughter, I had a dream that mommy moved away without us. WW, that's not what you told me last night. Daughter, then you didn't hear me right. Me, You two have very different memories of what was said. Nothing but crickets after that. She also said that I abandoned her when she was in the hospital with our 3-day-old son, got an infection and was in the hospital for another week. The crazy part is that her mother and sister were there when that happened, along with a lot of other visitors and nurses that will verify that I was there the entire time except to go get food or clean clothes. There have been moments when I thought I was going insane. She describes events unfolding in a completely different way than I remember. She retells things with such conviction that I think she actually believes that's what happened. Then we have moments like the one above, where someone else who was there completely blows her reality out of the water. It's genuinely starting to scare me. I'm sure her relationship with her AP is no different. I doubt it will last long. I'm so glad I decided to move forward with the divorce. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, don't play her games and definitely don't draw the kids into it. The next time she tells you a pointless story like this to stir up drama, gray rock the hell out of her. Just do okay and redirect the conversation elsewhere. Absolutely don't draw the kids into this. Redditor follow up, yes, I can't stress this enough. You'll gain more power by showing absolutely no emotion. You're entitled to feel the way you do, and there's nothing Jay can say to change that. Has been my go-to phrase when people feel guilty. They try to pick fights to make them redirect their guilt into anger toward the other party. When you don't comply with their twisted demands, they start to crumble from the inside. You can hurt a person more by not responding to their crazy, and absolutely do not give in when she includes the kids in her delusions. Just say, I'll talk to her, and casually walk away. It redirects power from them to you when narcissistic traits bubble to the surface. It makes them see how they can no longer direct the conversation nor control it. This poop is rough and I'm sorry you and your kids are going through this. Redditor 2, since she is this kind of person, the best you can do is to use a co-parenting app and mange all your communication with her through it and by written media. If is legal where you live, record the conversations with her. This way you can cover your ass when she begin to lie, and about your daughter show her with words and actions the truth. Answer, you're right. We're in a one-party consent state, so I can legally record our conversations without telling her. Thankfully, the part she made up about her abandoning her in the hospital was a text conversation. Redditor 3, she believes her lies because she has to find a reason to justify her shitty decisions. Your WW seems delusional and also seems like she is likely working on a reason to leave. This was likely a planned exit affair.